This incident dates back to 2007. Jassim Akbar was a retired army soldier. After leaving his job, he returned to his village and opened a small clothing shop in the local market, built on his ancestral land. Along with regular clothes, he also sold burial shrouds, kafan. It was winter, around 9 o'clock to 10 p.m. That night, his employee Neamat was on leave, so he was alone at the shop. By 8 p.m., the market had already become quiet and empty. He closed the shop and started walking home. After walking a short distance, a voice suddenly called him from behind. "Brother, I need burial cloth." He turned round and saw a man standing there, his face unclear in the fog. Said, "The shop is closed. Come tomorrow morning." The man replied slowly, "The burial will happen tonight. I need it now. Would it be right if a dead body suffers because of you?" Moved by sympathy, Jassim reopened his shop and sold him the shroud. For a few days, everything seemed normal. But then something strange began. The same man came every day, at the same time, to buy burial cloth. Not once, not twice, but for 7 consecutive days. On the 7th day, Jassim became irritated and said, "What is this? Does someone die in your house every single day?" The man smiled in a strange way and replied, "Those who died many years ago were never buried. I'm doing it now." A chill ran down Jassim's spine. Angrily, he told Neamat, "Throw this man out." Neamat forced the man to leave, but as he walked away, he turned back and whispered, "Your eyes will fall out. Your tongue will rot and slip out. The evil inside you will run wild, seeking escape." That very night, Jassim returned home and heard a strange chewing sound coming from the kitchen. It sounded like someone was eating something. Aggressively, he slowly walked closer and saw his wife sitting with her back turned, eating something. He called her name, no response. He placed his hand on her shoulder. She slowly turned round, and what he saw froze him in terror. His wife was chewing raw fish, tearing it apart with her teeth. Her eyes were red, her mouth covered in blood. Suddenly a voice came from behind. What happened? He turned round and saw his real wife running out of the bedroom. Then who was in the kitchen? From that night onward, his life turned into a nightmare. Midnight knocks on the door, seeing Neamat-like figures calling him outside, being led into a foggy field. 9 funeral stretchers laid out, countless shadowy figures, a funeral gathering forming out of nowhere. Suddenly, someone grabbed him from behind. He fell into a pit, a grave. He struggled desperately and somehow climbed out. But when he looked around, everything was gone. No people, no stretchers, nothing. The next day, Neamat said, he never left home that night. After that, Jassim started hearing strange sounds constantly, crying, laughter, whispers. It felt like something was always following him. One night, he had a horrifying dream. He saw himself sitting in his shop. The market was empty. Suddenly, 4 men arrived carrying a stretcher. They placed it down and said, "We don't need burial cloth. We came to take you." Jassim ran. He ran until he reached a graveyard. From inside he heard screams. He peeked in and saw several men forcing a living person into a burial shroud and placing him on a stretcher. The man was moving. He was alive. Jassim went closer and uncovered the man's face, and what he saw made his blood run cold. Looked exactly like his dead father, wrapped in a shroud, sitting upright. Suddenly, those men returned. They grabbed Jassim and threw him into an open grave. Then they started pouring something like boiling liquid over him. He screamed, struggled. Looking up, he saw the figure resembling his father sitting beside the grave, crying, slapping his own forehead in despair. Jassim tried to climb out, but he couldn't. Soil started falling over him. The grave was being filled. His breathing became heavy. Darkness closed in, the feeling of death, and then a voice echoed from above, "Very soon, you will be buried for real." Suddenly, he woke up. His wife was shaking him. He realized he had been choking himself in his sleep. A few days later, one morning, Jassim Akbar was found dead. It was called a natural death, but the terror on his face said otherwise. But the story didn't end there. A few months after Jassim Sahib's death, his son Javed, after thinking a lot, made a decision. There was no point in running this shop anymore, because whoever rented the shop, no one could last more than a month. If they left the shop organized at night, in the morning, everything would be found completely messed up. Clothes moved from one place to another, items from the shelves lying on the floor. Sometimes even wet, reddish footprints could be seen on the ground, as if someone had been walking around all night. Asterisk, finally Javed, along with his mother, made a decision, not a shop. We'll build a madrasa here. The thought was maybe doing something religious would drive away all evil forces. Within a few days, the work began. Walls were raised. The roof was completed. Slowly, the place began to take a new form. During this time, Jave got married. His new bride came home. Everything was going fine, but just 8 to 9 days after the wedding, the first incident happened. That night, the three of them, Javed, his mother, and his wife, were eating together. Suddenly, Javed's wife froze. The bowl slipped from her hand and fell to the floor. Her eyes widened as she stared toward the bed. In a trembling voice, she said, "Over there." "Who is sitting there?" Everyone looked. There was nothing, but she kept shaking and said, "A man. His face is burned, completely black, wrapped in a cloth, holding a white burial shroud in his hand." Asterisk, at night Javed's wife suddenly woke up on the tin roof tap. The sound of someone walking. She lay still, silent. Then a knock on the door, slow, then a bit louder. She tried to wake Javed, but he wouldn't wake up. So she opened the door herself and stepped outside. Darkness everywhere. No one in sight. Just then someone called her by her name. "Come this way." From the yard, she slowly moved forward and saw a man sitting on the ground, wrapped in a cloth. The man sat with his head lowered. She asked, "Who are you?" No response. The man simply raised his hand and gestured to go left. Fearfully, she walked in that direction. After going a little further, her heart skipped a beat. She sojived, digging the ground, kneeling down like a madman, striking the soil again and again. She ran to him and said, "Hey, what are you doing at this hour?" Javed didn't stop. Then slowly, he raised his head. His eyes were unnatural, empty, lifeless. In a cold voice, he said, "I'm digging a grave for you." Hearing this, she screamed and ran. Reaching the front of the house, she collapsed unconscious. The next day, after hearing everything, Jave took her to a Husa imam. After listening carefully, the imam understood. This was not something ordinary. He performed some spiritual recitations and gave her water to drink. But, he said, the problem here is deep. Charms and amulets alone won't be enough. A few days later, one of the madrasa teachers came to Javed and said, "This place is not good." He explained one night, he saw several shadowy figures, nearly 7 feet tall, beating Javed's deceased father. Out of fear, he lost consciousness. Another night he felt his bed was slowly rising off the ground, up, higher, almost 3 feet above. Then it suddenly dropped down with a thud. When he opened his eyes, he saw standing in front of him a man wrapped in a burial shroud, face burned, eyes empty. The figure grabbed his throat and said, "Leave this place, or you will die." After this, the Imam conducted a deep investigation. It was discovered many years ago, this land had been given by a traditional healer to a family of jinn. They used to live there, but later, out of human greed, the land was taken back. The jinn were driven away. Some of them were even killed. One jinn survived, and it swore revenge. One night the Imam bravely tried to communicate with the jinn. The surroundings turned cold. The wind stopped. Then a deep, heavy voice was heard. "Leave. I have no enmity with you." The Imam said, "Why are you harming these people?" The jinn replied, "This land is ours. We were betrayed." After a long conversation, the jinn gave one condition. This place must remain only a man. It must be used for orphans. Otherwise, the deaths will not stop. But Javed refused stubbornly. He said, "This is my land. I will do whatever I want." The consequence after that, things became even more terrifying. Javed's mother died. Strange shadows were seen in the house. Screams were heard at night. Finally, Javed realized he had made a mistake. Leaving everything behind, he abandoned the place and left the area. Some battles are not meant for humans to win. Some lands are not meant for humans, and some revenge never ends.